Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you live. And this is another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. And we will also be airing this great episode on Biggs Radio Chicago, voice of a new generation, y'all. We want to thank Donna Lynn Biggs for the opportunity to just have a brother be a voice on this talk radio, internet radio Chicago station. And we're going to give a shout out to Shop Talk 7 also. Shout out to them boys, man, Dennis and Monix, because they out here doing some great things, yo.
Facts.
Doing some great things. And Dennis always like to talk about ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, since he has generated a whole ecosystem around this community, it's just a great thing, yo. A lot of networking, a lot of talking, meeting new people, you know what I mean? That type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So big ups to them too for that. Who else? VN Productions, Ron Reed. Shout out to my boy. He is also my cousin. He is doing his thing. Check out the VNO podcast on YouTube. Views and opinions, everybody. Views and opinions. And who else? We got Dope Living TV Live. My mentor, Greg Gray. Author Gina Gatson. Marcella Amos and Maurice Bishop and myself. We are on Monday through Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all check us out on Dope Living TV Live. We promote a lot of goodness and greatness there too. But for today, this is my show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with me here, I have this man, Doug O'Lake. And this is a real good brother, man. You know what I mean? We had the opportunity of meeting a little bit. I'm going to have him kind of get into that just a smidget, you know, but I'll brush on it like real briefly. We had the opportunity of meeting just on Shop Talk 7, and it was just a podcast going on, and boom, bada bam, right when we was talking.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this has been a real good thing we got going. And I ain't going to talk about everything he do because I think he's real great at what he does. So I'm going to have him also introduce himself right now, go a little bit further, and he'll bring in the topic for the day because it's near and dear to him. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, it's your boy Doug O'Lake, the R&B crooner, the R&B extraordinaire, your auntie's favorite R&B singer. Album Love Lessons in stores right now, on streaming on all platforms. I'm just saying it's my hot single. I'm up for a 312 award. I'm blessed, man. I've been working real hard. So I really want to touch on this topic because it was something that I went through. Mm-hmm. Losing someone special and going through grief while trying to maintain a relationship, while trying to maintain a love life during the grief of losing someone near the day. I lost my mom in 2020 of the COVID. Rest in peace, Mom. She all over my place. So I just want to touch on a couple of things because I see a lot of people lose people and then lose. Also, you don't have to be dead to lose somebody. So that person doesn't have to die to be lost, or that person have to die for things to just go terrible. And I just want to, talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with your experience, man, let's dive into that just a little bit more. Like, let the viewers know a little bit more about that experience and why it really shifted you. You know what I mean?
So during that experience, my mom, I lost my grandmother in 2012. Don't get me wrong, that hurt, but not like losing your mom. And it was sudden. So it was like, no matter how much you prepare for it, no matter how much you never prepare for it, and especially when you haven't prepared for it, you don't know what's going to happen and everything. You remember the pandemic, we went through COVID, everybody, it just hit so crazy. Yeah. So once I lost my mom, I lost myself too.
That's heavy.
So looking back on it now, April 13th, it'll be 4 years. Looking back on it now, I look at, and then even some of the people that was around me that, some left, some stayed, and the people that stayed, really, we've had conversations about it. And my friends, they told me like, bro, you was really, and I love them for giving me grace during that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was moving so fast. I couldn't catch up. I couldn't catch up with myself. I couldn't grieve properly. I couldn't, be in a mode where I took time to sit down because it's just me and my sister. Okay. So my first time ever planning a funeral, my first time ever cycling through insurance papers, trying to figure out what's what. And my mom used to always say, because she had it set up. So, because my mom was a realist. So she had it set up for whenever I go, you and your sister's going to be seamless. I'm going to need, if you tell my sister, I'm going to need you to take care of your brother because he, he's going, and it actually, the tables was turned.
Oh, wow.
I had to, and me and my sister got a 14-year age gap. So she's my big sister. So that's like mom too. So
exactly.
I had to pick her up.
Mhm.
So doing that and
Yeah.
trying to still maintain and trying not to grieve and trying to be strong for the family and trying to, it was tough. And I didn't see it because it's a certain numbness.
Yeah.
You know, I guess stages of grief, you know, disbelief, and then you get numb to it. And I was moving like this, and this.
Yeah.
And at the time I was trying to maintain somewhat of a relationship.
Okay. Gotcha.
Unbeknownst to myself, that person had never been through, you know, what I'm going through.
Exactly.
So it made it challenging to handle me, handle her, handle life, handle everything during that situation. So it was, you know, it was tough.
And do you think because see, as you say, because we talked about this a little bit earlier too, and you said that same thing. You said they hadn't been through the same situation. But do you kind of think it was more she should have just kind of been there emotionally?
Right.
Because that's what we relate. We relate not necessarily. We can relate with the situation. But everybody's situation is different. But being able to tackle that emotion,
right,
losing something that comes with losing somebody, special to you. Not even death, really. You know, people grieve, friendship.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah,
different things of that nature. So, what do you think about that?
Definitely, she lacked the emotional portion that I needed. Because, like I said, it was all new to her, and apparently she didn't know how to handle it when it came to being there for me. To the point where, in my nights when I did get by myself, I felt by myself. You know what I mean? When I did need to cry, when I did, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like being vulnerable around her because of the emotional intelligence that I felt like she needed. But in the same token, I can't all put it on her.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? It was me too, you know, lashing out. Everybody know me, Doug O'Lake is, you know, Doug O'Lake is a live wire. So imagine that times 10 of grieving a death and going through stuff like that. And I could say, looking back on it, I didn't allow her to, you know, be emotional. So now in my new relationship,
so shut her down.
Right.
Oh, okay. Right. She wasn't letting you in. You shut her down.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly getting let in.
Exactly. And I didn't realize that until, you know, we're done over. We've been done, you know what I'm saying, for those 2-3 years, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And at first I would think about it. I'm at peace with it now. It doesn't bother me now. Definitely. It is what it is. Definitely. You know what I mean?
That's what growth is.
Yeah. But at the time, looking back on it, through it all, I felt like we both could have did more.
Okay.
But I'm looking at it like also from a selfish standpoint, and I don't deny it. I was selfish to say like, you need to be here for me, as I would be there for you if the tables were turned.
Okay.
And the things like the outpour from my family, from friends. I don't want to use the word jealous, but it kind of made her feel like, well, damn, what about me? You know what I mean?
Okay,
and
she felt left out.
Right. Gotcha. So it was that's why I tried with my new relationship. I'm in a new relationship. We've been knowing each other for years, but we've been together solid for a while now. That's good. So I try my hardest to not make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You know, you grow, you learn. Yes. So I'm thankful for her being very, very emotionally intelligent. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain things, even when it comes to dealing with things, when it comes to me, because like I said, I don't always handle things the best way.
I feel.
You know what I'm saying? So to have someone to be able to, honey, calm down. You know what I mean? And stay in her sanity while getting me back into mine. I can appreciate that nowadays, and I know how to deal with that as far as opposed to at that time. Man, I was all over the place. I didn't know my head from my ass. I didn't know, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely, bro. I didn't know which way was up.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know when we get hit with certain traumatic experiences, they all affect us each in different ways.
Right.
Some people will go out and shop. You know what I mean? Some people go out and shut the door and never come out of a room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people just be completely closed off or bury themselves in work or different things and just hide the issue.
And that was me. All of them were me.
Oh, wow.
All of them were me.
Okay.
From keeping moving, not sitting down, from then when I did sit down, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I might have cut my phone off for 3 days.
Oh,
The
wow.
family was calling me. Everybody was
Man.
running. The only person who knew who I was my sister. And they would call her and be like, "Oh, he all right, he all good."
Yeah.
Then I went through the can't nobody say nothing to me.
Okay.
Everything I say, what you mean? I'm getting into it with friends. You know what I mean? So I whatever number of stages of grief there is, I feel like I touched them all during that time. From the denial standpoint, from the I'm okay standpoint, from the I'm not okay standpoint, from the okay, we got to do this, from the all right, it's really here, and from seeing my mother in the casket, like, oh my God, this is really reality. So, whoo,
I hit you, man.
So I don't recommend, because here's the deal. I built a lot of trauma bonds.
Oh, okay.
During that time.
Okay.
People who was there because it sounded good, or people giving condolences because it was what they were supposed to say, or people being in my life because they felt obligated to, or and being in a state of vulnerability, or in that state, you build bonds that they're called trauma bonds. They're not really good.
Exactly. They're not good for you, but
right.
They really don't serve you the purpose or the great intention that they're supposed to when you have meaningful relationships.
Absolutely.
With other people.
Absolutely.
Who can actually be there for you.
Yeah.
At the full extent. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because yeah, that's my phone. All right, y'all. Hold on real quick. See, this is what happens, man, when you go ahead and you take this. See, this money's right now card. I'm not gonna pick up money.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna catch this episode. I'm gonna blame you. It's you. I should turn off my phone, but you call. That's what it is. I think part of it too is because I have the computer linked up to that, but it's okay. We'll see what I can edit that out. But anyway, yes, sir. I understand what you mean, man, because and I know that had to be even more interesting because since you said you were everywhere, how did you did you ever come to accept and figure out these trauma bonds? How did you know that that's what it was?
When it was time to get the hell on. When certain things happened that I was like, Doug, you wouldn't deal with this regularly. So why you dealing with it now? And that don't just mean relationships. That mean friendships. That mean jobs. That mean anything that you wouldn't normally deal with. And I just had to take a step back. First of all, I had to grieve.
Okay.
I had to take a second to cry. See, I'm gonna cry. Everybody who know me know Doug will. If it hit me, it's gonna happen. So I've never been one of those men that's, oh, a man ain't supposed to cry. My mom raised me that, you know what I mean? She wanted me to have emotional vulnerability, emotional intelligence, and still be a man and be able to be a man. Because a lot of times as men, we ain't supposed to cry. We're not supposed to hurt. We're not supposed to, you know what I mean? I think that's BS. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because we all go through things. So when I sat back and just let things go and just got back to me, I started to see things clear.
I like that. You said you had to get back to you. And you know what? We use the word emotional intelligence a lot. And I really believe that, in my opinion, I think that's another word to say you're self-aware of your emotions. So since you're in tune with your emotions, now let me say this too, because I don't want people to get this misconstrued.
Okay.
Because just because you're in tune with your emotions doesn't mean that you know how to navigate them with.
Exactly.
So it's a two-part to it. Because I believe that when you have awareness, you're able to act on it, but you still got to act on it in the right and proper way.
And I think we all, especially as men, I can't say I've handled every situation.
I feel
even though I have the emotional intelligence, sometimes my anger take over. I can't say I've handled every situation emotionally proper.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I have, and I'm a man of accountability. I'm not a man that's afraid to apologize. I've been wrong in situations. I own up to who I am. So I think as time goes by, it's a work in progress. Crossing into a new decade, damn near, it's like, okay, Doug, you can't do this. I used to do this. You can't act this upon this. I used to act upon this. So it's a learning. Every day is a learning experience. Every day is a process. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning because as I get older, like you said, we use the word emotional intelligence, but sometimes when I react to situations, I look back and be like, okay, that wasn't emotionally intelligent. And I knew what I should have did, but I chose to, you know what I mean? So for me, how do I navigate through that? You know what I mean? I always just take every situation. Then, like I said, I got good people around me that don't have a problem with telling me, you know, all right, you was wrong for that.
There you go.
Now you know I hear you. I ain't gonna tell you right then and there, but when we get in this car, yeah, Doug, you was wrong for that. That ain't how we, you know what I mean. And then I'll have to go back and do damage control, apologize, or you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm glad that you said you have people in your life that can tell you these things, because a lot of people, especially nowadays, don't want to be told what to do. Don't want to be given the other side or a different perspective.
Right.
Because I deal with so many people, man, and they always tell me, well, why should I have to change? The world should just adapt to me. But in all reality, you have to adjust to everything else around you. It's not up to people to appease you.
Absolutely. And speaking of adjusting, when I don't like when people say that, because you're one of not even 1% of this world.
That's it.
So
yes, sir.
When you change, when you say things like people should change for me and this and the third, we all have to adjust, like you said, for the people around us, whether it's friends, family, work.
Exactly.
We all have to adjust. Now, when you bump into people that don't adjust or don't feel that same way, you just, for me, I know so-and-so gonna do this. I know so-and-so gonna be this way. I know if I say this to him this way, he going this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how, like you said, how you navigate through change and emotions and things like that for yourself. So that's how I look at it. Like I don't navigate for other people. I navigate for myself. But while paying attention to other people and the people around me. You know, I can't make certain decisions because I got kids, I got a family, I can't do this because of this. Or if I do this is the cause and effect of this. Okay. So I always be mindful of it. I always keep that in mind when it comes to moving and making decisions, whether it's with my career, whether it's with the music, whether it's, you know, every day in life. And my girl tell me all the time, you stubborn. You set your ways. And I try to get out of my ways, but it take a couple people sometimes to tell me if all my girl, my friends, all them saying the same thing, then it's me.
Come on, exactly.
It's me.
That's the whole truth. And you know, while you were in that deep state of grief, did you have a hard time with still accepting the accountability? I asked that question because a lot, when we have those internal talks with ourselves, we know what we in sometimes and we know what we're doing. Right. Were you still able to have that internal talk with yourself to recognize what you were doing in a bad way, but you were still just kind of holding on to those?
Yeah. Well, see, this, you know, the inner voice, my grandma used to always tell my mom, the inner voice that you hear, that little voice, that's God. Yes. So when he tell you certain things, it's up to you to listen to it. And a lot of things, you know, I knew I probably shouldn't have said that. But fuck it, I said it. It is what it is. I'm hey, it's out now. I said it. Yeah. And then I found myself apologizing for not what I said, but how I said it. Because one thing about Doug, I'm a straight shooter. Okay. And everybody that know me know that. Yeah. Listen, you gonna it's no in between. You either like Doug or you ain't gonna like Doug. Ain't no, he all right. Nope. You either gonna fuck with him or you're not. Okay. So going forth with that, and I know this, I try to be mindful of certain things, but then I always say, well, why did I have to say it a certain way? You didn't do it a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, why I gotta say it like this when you did what you did, you didn't think of, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I throw, and my girl tell me all the time, you just, she called me crazy because I throw it out the window sometimes. Okay. You don't get to do me no kind of way and expect me to come at you like this, bro. And blah, blah, blah. No, that ain't. No. You know what, how I've learned to kind of manage that is shout out to my wife, because my wife is like the queen at this. She'll say something to you and you know it's gonna piss you off, but she's telling you the truth at the same time. Right. Like it's not, and at first I had to get used to that because I thought she was bringing nigga down. Right. That's what I thought. I thought she was reducing. Yeah. And I was like, well, who are you to tell me? Yeah. Baby? I know me. Yeah. But sometimes we have to be reduce to get back up. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what that building is. You know what I mean? If you don't have people in your life, especially in times of grief, when you're in deep sorrow like that, to kind of know the role, right, and to pull you up out of that. And when I say pull you up, people, I'm not saying that it's their sole responsibility to pull you up.
What I'm saying is, it's the responsibility to at least try.
Right.
Because they're with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we had, you know how we had a mentality, man, we say ain't nobody got to do nothing for you.
Right.
But when somebody loves and cares about you, sometimes it's a certain emotion that triggers them wanting to do something good for you because they see you hurt.
Absolutely. And sometimes we be so deep in, like I said, it all depends on the loss. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it don't have to necessarily be a mom, or it could be somebody near and dear, but your mama, and everybody knows that I've been a mama's boy since, you know, I'm her only son. So I've been a mama's boy since, ain't no, it's me and my sister, ain't no more. You know what I mean? I got other siblings on my dad's side, but my mom, it's been me and my sister. So, and then I'm the baby child. So it was always something that, you know how you be like, okay, well, I know this not reality, but you know how you be like, oh, mom ain't going nowhere. She gonna be here forever. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Until she's not. So that was the biggest thing for me to grasp. Like my now it's a gift and curse in death. Let me tell you why. Okay. The curse was you losing your mom. I lost my security blanket. Yeah. I lost my, my room, been my room since at my mama's house since I was, 15, 16 years old. So to the point where she still had pictures up that I put up and everything. So me losing that comfort zone, now I don't have mom to run back to when shit get rough. There you go. Exactly. So it forces me to stand more on my feet, because if this rent don't get paid in this place, I'm on my tail. I ain't got my mom. Now I can move to, my sister always tell me, you come to Virginia and live with me. No, I'm not moving to Virginia. Exactly. So I have to keep that in mind. And my mom would always tell me, I'm trying to prepare you for when I'm not going to always be here. So I'm going to prepare you for when I'm dead and gone, because I'm not going to always be here. And I'm like, girl, you got to be here forever. You crazy told that, girl. So when it happened, I was able to use those tools that she taught me to be able to stand on my own too. So when it comes to me losing her, that was the gift in it. She gave me the tools to be able to maintain, and I ain't got nowhere else to go, so I got to maintain. It was always back in my mind, what if I don't work out, I can just move back home. No, ain't no back home. This is home. Exactly. Ain't nowhere to go back to. So and losing her, all those tools she taught me growing up, I was able to put to use, that I realized that, dang, now don't get me wrong, I've been on my own. I've had my own apartment. This is not my first apartment. I had my own place. You know what I mean? Back and forth since I was 19. I only had to go back home twice. Yeah. So in the process of me having to go back home, I lived in Vegas for 8 years. Okay. So Vegas life, Vegas life, wow. That's another story. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the strip life. The city life is way different than the strip life. Okay. What happened to the camera? Did it go? No, we good. Oh, we good. Okay. The city life is way different than this life you see on TV. Yeah. It's still fast now. It's slow, but it's fast. It's slow like a country town, but it's fast, baby. Okay. And I was so prideful. Yeah. And not going back home this time. I ain't going back home. I ain't, to the point where I was damn near homeless. To the point where my mom would call and ask me, like, what's going on? Everything okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm straight. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, if you have, you can always come home. If it ain't working out, blah, blah, blah. So she would call my sister, because her and my sister was close in age. She had my sister when she was 16. Yeah, so I wouldn't tell my sister the truth, but they both of them like, I know something up. He lying. Yeah. He lying. So my sister called me one time and was like, mama on to you. What you got going on? What's up, little bro? Tell me what's happening, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, no, I'm good. She's like, you lying. Something going on. I said, I'm good. So the next day, my mama called me like, hey, come home. Now, also the gift in that, I think God wanted me to come home because he was about to take my mom. Okay. So I ended up having to come home, and I ended up having to move with her. And I moved to her in November. When I came home, she passed that following March. Oh, wow. So I think God did certain things, and I was like, I see what you did for me to be there, because I'd be in prison if I was in Vegas somewhere trying to cope with. Yeah, and you know what I mean. If you was away for that time, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. You probably would have, and honestly, especially during that time in my life. Yes. Oh no, we wouldn't be sitting there right now. Oh wow, I'd be dead or in somebody's prison. Oh wow. Or just getting out from, because 4 years I'm just getting out from doing somebody's bid. Okay. For real. So
Definitely.
In the process of that,
Yeah.
I try to look at, I always try to find a silver lining in the bad.
Definitely, as you should.
Not even if I don't say nothing to nobody, or if I'm still mad about what happened. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I get through this, or how do I get out of this, or what's the bright side? Ain't no bright side to losing life, but it's always a silver lining, man, and that's what I had to do. I had to sit down and get back to me and find that silver lining. The silver lining for my mom's death was, and not to elaborate too deep, but my mom set us up.
Okay.
She set us up.
Okay.
Me and my sister set us up. And we didn't even know. We didn't even, you know what I'm saying? We would always know where the, papers is, insurance papers, stuff like that. This. We knew how she didn't have to have a will because it was just me and my sister. Hey, when I get up out of here, your auntie can get all my clothes, whatever she want to come over here and get. Douglas ain't got no car at the time. He can keep my car. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all do, have y'all split, just put me in something nice. Don't go out bow, this and third. Put me in something nice. Have my makeup nice. Have me looking nice. So we tried our hardest, and we did. We wanted her final expenses to be how she wanted it. Okay. And so we was flipping through everything and trying to get it. Everything was seamless, even through COVID. In the dead of COVID, we was 10 people funeral, social distancing, dead through the pandemic. We still got through it. The family came together how they were supposed to. My auntie always act a fool, but we got through that. Okay. And she set us up. So she gave me the tool to, me and my sister to restart, because my sister already said, my sister's been an RN for 20-something years. She lived in Virginia, got a nice big old house, you know what I mean? But my sister used to tell me, I'm worried about your brother. I want your brother to be set up because I've been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I worry about him. I want him to be okay. And she made it where we were okay. So when I look back at it, think about it like, Mama, because she would never tell us. There ain't nothing she talked about with us. When the same time, we were scrambling, but we knew where everything was. She had a little manila, little envelope folding thing full of the papers she knew. So we just got to looking at the papers, and me and my sister was like, and I know, knowing my mom, I just had to smile. Yeah. I just was like,
I hear you, big guy.
Because we was wondering, like, okay, how we gonna do this? What's gonna go? What's happening? Oh Lord, here we go. We gotta
really know what somebody has until that time. You never really.
Everything was seamless. Everything was seamless. So I was able to take satisfaction in that. If her looking down on us, she'd be proud. Even now, she'd be proud of where we are and where I was 4 years ago. 5 years ago, 2019, man, look, I know she patted me on the back. You know what I'm saying? So I take that as now with my new relationship, if something were to happen like that, I know how to handle it. And thank God I'm with someone who's emotionally intact to be able to help me through something like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
And as you were telling this, I was thinking about throughout this. That's a lot. Throughout that whole experience, I sat up here and I thought to myself, where was this woman? You know what I mean? Was what you expressed earlier and everything. And that, like I said, people, we're not trying to put the whole weight on one person because that's not the agenda here. But you still ask the question, where is that loved one at? Where's the one that you looking to lean on at that time? What role did she play? And you said it earlier. She didn't know how to deal with it. I already know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for you, like literally, with dealing and sifting through these certain situations, is it like she just wasn't present? Or was she absent-minded of a lot of the
stuff? She was. Okay. She was trying to be present.
Okay.
But she was absent-minded to the point where I shut her out. And like I said, looking back, I can admit that now.
Okay.
I shut her out because it was like, I got time to deal with this. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Well, what are you talking about? What? I gotta do this. I got time for. And
what was being said to you at that time? What would she say to you? And you would just kind of move off and push. What? Because I remember you saying earlier she would try to reach out and you wouldn't let her in. Was it more so those instances?
Well, she was supposed to be with me every step of the way. From planning the funeral to being around me, making sure I was straight, and You know, it seemed like work was more important than that. It seemed like, you know, certain things that was going on. Her birthday was more important than a lot of stuff. And she was asking me questions that I was like, "Girl, why you asking me that? I don't know." You know what I mean? And she just wasn't there. Now, a few weeks went by, it was time for me to for whatever was going on. We should have sat down and talked about it. Now, I don't fully throw all the responsibility, because I didn't. I started moving around. I started trying to get my life together, and she got to the point where her stubbornness kicked in, and she was like, "Well, F it, you ain't gonna. All right, well, you ain't gonna. You don't need me. I ain't need it." But I feel like we didn't talk to each other enough about that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sit down, and even if she would have tried to, I was moving. I was grieving. I was, you know what I'm saying, trying to establish life, trying to get my mama affairs in order. Because, you know, people who ain't never planned a funeral. It's not just a funeral. We had to sell houses. We had to, you know what I'm saying, go split assets. Man, my sister had to stay here my sister was here for 6 months dang after my mom passed, and she lives in Virginia. So we had to get everything affairs in order. Then I was living with my mom at the time, so I had to get my affairs in order. I had to get me a place. I had to, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot. And like I said, I don't throw all the blame on her. I give her the blame, but I take part in not doing what I was supposed to do to fix it, or even listen to her if she was trying to fix it. So I'll never know, you know what I'm saying? That's why my girl now, I get on her tail. We communicate. We got to communicate. Let me know. Even the hard stuff that we don't want to talk about, we got to communicate. And I'm still learning that too. So, you know, every situation I take, looking back, I ain't mad about it. I ain't hurt about it. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she got going on. I hope she moved on. I hope she happy. We cool. We don't even communicate. We just, she on her side of the world. I'm on my side of the world. I hope everything okay with her. And moving forward in my relationship now, I don't try to. I try to be different than every new relationship. You try to be different, try to do things differently, not bringing over the same kind of things. And then, thank God, like I said, I got an emotionally aware girl. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. She's aware of a lot of shit that I ain't even aware of. I'll be like, "Oh, you saw that? Okay. I was thinking that you right. You know." So I'm grateful for that.
That's what's up, man. You know what? I'll be transparent. I'm always transparent on my shows. You know what I mean about just what me and my wife do and everything. Because, you know, I feel that we're supposed to teach people. We're supposed to have people learn from us. Yeah. And with my wife, she even said it last night when we was out. She said, Jeff shares everything with me. Everything. How he feels and all that. But she's so closed off. She realized that she was closed off. She looked me in the face. She said, man, I really need to start expressing to you a little bit more. I'm like, you know what, babe? I guess, you know, you adapt around people. Remember we talked about that adaptability. Yeah. So because I always allow the woman I'm with to be herself and me too. Express absolutely what she's going to express. Yeah. But you know, as men, we just try to make sure that we don't want it to get to that point to where it's detrimental.
Yeah. So within the lines of fairness.
Within the lines, exactly. Within the lines of fairness. So I really thought that was big ups to my wife because she came to me and said that. You know, now it's something we can look at and work on. Yeah. When you're not aware of that for either a man or a woman, it puts a lot of stress on that person. Absolutely. Now, we have the option of also putting expectation on somebody, an unspoken expectation saying you should do this, but did you speak up?
Right. And then when it comes down to it, you like, but you ain't say that, or we ain't talk about that, or I didn't say that. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Man, this is I want to let y'all know this is such good info. And I feel that I hope we have some more men watching, because one of the big things that I always think about too is as men, we don't share these experiences often, or you don't hear these stories a lot out there. Right. Because with us not being taught to express more. Now you see it a lot more now. You know what I mean? I think
men are starting to have our voice. Yes, we starting to get a voice. Yes, we are. But what we and again, a lot of times we've been raised to always be masculine. Yes, exactly. Men have and I don't want to say feminine side, but men have I'm going to say vulnerable side, vulnerable, emotional side. There you go. That because that's humanistic. Exactly. That nowadays I feel like men are starting to tap into. Yeah. Which is, and it's crazy because now women calling everything sassy. Everything's sassy. Everything is zesty. Everything is like what?
I had never heard that. I had to ask my boy. We was doing the panel yesterday. I said, "What do you mean sassy? Why are women?" I thought sassy was more like a talk back type deal.
Don't sass me. Yeah, no, it's sassy. So they say the things like now the internet don't want crazy. I got a cat. Oh, he got a cat. He ain't got no dogs. He's sassy. What? You know.
You see, people, do you understand what we're doing here? We are breaking down a barrier.
Yeah.
Do y'all really understand how ignorant that sounds?
Yeah.
When it's coming out your mouth, how sassy sounds. I hope we just change the narrative here, sir.
Hopefully.
Today.
Hopefully.
Because people need to understand this. We come up with all these different definitions and all these things, man, and we don't really be trying to pay attention to where this stuff came from.
Yes. Wow. So this is what I feel too about the super world. I think the roles are being reversed. Women are switching roles. You notice a lot of women, they be like, I want a man to take care of me, this and the third. A lot of women out here doing. So I seen a post where a girl, she's in a polyamorous situation. So she got a man for here, a man for this, a man for this, a man for that. And they was in the comments just dogging her.
Was that the chick with the web? She had the whole
Yes. So they was in the comments dogging her out. I was like, wait a minute. Men do this every day. Men do this every day. So I literally said in the comments, it's cool when they do it, but it's cool when we do it, but it's a problem when they do it. Leave that girl alone.
Exactly.
You know, as long as she practices safe sex and doing what she want to do, doing this safely and properly, let her do her thing, because men do it every day. It's frowned upon. Those double standards. We got to tackle those double standards. Those double standards are ugly. A man can do everything, but women can't. Well, certain things women do is frowned upon, and nowadays women are sick of that. So now I find more men wanting marriage, wanting a family, and these women out here like, nope, I'm out here. Hot girl summer, I'm popping it. Nope, I'm not doing. No, sir, no.
And so you know what? And that's very interesting to point out, because do you think it's more of the do you believe the role switching has to play a part into that? Because when there used to be a time, I still believe there is a time, where I always tell my wife this: our roles as men has never changed.
Right.
It's never changed. We're always supposed to be the provider. We're always supposed to be the protector. We're always supposed to tap into that emotional side so we can hear our women. But now, once again, when you hear us having our voice, women have been raised to, like my wife puts it this way, women have been raised to be more in their masculine energy for jobs, for different things that they have to go through in life, but then they don't know how to dial that back when they get home. And
also because, you know, a lot of men, and I'm not gonna my girl, no, I'm not. We've been on each other since we was 14. So even on the friendship side, she's seen me. I've dogged women, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. And a lot of men have made these women like the way they are now.
Okay, I got you.
You know, a lot of men has made women single mothers to where they have to raise the family and be the man of the family. A lot of men in the workforce has made women feel like you a woman, so you shouldn't be doing this. Like me driving trucks. I love to see a woman driving trucks. I'll be on the road. I'll be seeing women. I'll be like, oh, okay, go ahead, girl, go ahead. Yeah. So we're in a different time. This ain't the 70s, 80s when our grandparents was in the house while our grandfathers or the fathers was outside making the money, bringing home, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? That time is over.
Exactly.
So when I hear a lot of men say, I want a traditional woman, what does that mean? Because it's 2024. The traditional woman is making her own bag, doing her own thing, and raising and taking care of the family. I mean, the traditional woman is staying at home, taking whatever the man get him, while the man go out and do whatever, but as long as he bring that money home.
Exactly.
That's all. That's out. That time is out. That time is out. Women want their own identity. Women want their own everything. But like you said, like your wife said, they just need to learn how to dial it back. Especially when they see that they got a real leader. And now if you got a man that ain't doing shit, then that's one thing. But when you see that your man is doing what he's supposed to, and I tell my friends this, my female friends, I tell them, man, you gotta let a man lead. Let him lead.
Come on, big dog.
Let him lead. I'm a big advocate for that. Now, I'm working on things with my lady because my lady's a natural born leader. She be like, we was in the restaurant last night, so we did a double date with my cousin. Okay. And my cousin's lady was sitting over there, and we were trying to get we had the crab boil thing. We went to the crab shack. So we were trying to get the crab boil, and my lady was like, honey, you got to do it like this. The hell lady was like, honey, you got to do it like this. And we both was like, hey, hey. But I'm thankful for it. You know what I mean? Definitely. But sometimes I have to be like, baby, I got it. She'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, I got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I think today's society is teaching women to be more masculine. Now that could be a gift and a curse. That could work with us or against us.
With us or against us. Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I like a woman that knows what she wants and is assertive, and but like you said, knows when to dial it back, because these women nowadays, us men done fuck them up. So you got to expect them to. We got men walking out a lot women lives and leaving them to raise the kids. They don't have no other choice but to step into that role, and either they're gonna step into that role or fold. And a lot of women ain't gonna fold. So that's what we get, the ramifications of, I think, men doing what's doing women so dirty. Now they ain't got no other choice now. So now we trying to chill now. Now we ain't on that. Now these women like, F that. I
heard an interesting perspective. And this is something that I believe. Okay, now y'all, we didn't switch the title of the show for a little bit here, but we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna round it back real quick. But this is very interesting, good conversation right now. Now, I've always said women have a whole bunch of power, a lot of power, and a lot of times women don't really know the power that they have, and that power is the ability to lock it up down now.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's the power. That's the power.
That's the
power.
That's the power. And the thing is, when you lock it up and you put limitations and restrictions on the men that you choose to lay down with, I think that's one side of the coin, because people do change.
Yeah.
So we'll say, we'll split it down the middle, and we'll say half is making the wrong choice, and half is the people who just change over time.
Okay.
And it really shows that they was just ain't shit brothers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I believe time will tell that too.
Absolutely.
Let's say when a man starts becoming very successful, it's going to do one or two things. He's either going to draw close to his significant other and incorporate her and the family, or he going to get beside himself, love the little bit of wealth and riches he got, and do whatever he wants to. So that's why I say 50-50.
Okay.
But one interesting thing was that perspective on power with the woman, man. I think if some women would learn how to make the right choice too in the beginning,
absolutely,
that can definitely be a game changer. And that's just, the same can go for men too.
Yeah, because we're human. We all, man or women, we see the red flags in the beginning. I was just talking to my friend. So shouts out to Dominique Danielle. That's my sister. That's my best friend. I was talking to her, and we was just having a conversation, and she's well aware. She's emotionally intact. Okay. When it comes to certain things, we just be having a normal conversation. And I was telling her, like, certain people, certain red flags that we see, we overlook thinking. Okay. We overlook them thinking, oh, well, I could get with this, but I can't get with that. Listen, if there are certain red flags that women overlook. If he ain't taking care of his kids, he already got. What makes you think he gonna have a baby with you? And what makes you different? Have a baby with you and take care of your kids? If he quit a job every week and you decide to go into business with him, what makes you think that he gonna treat that business the way he's supposed to treat that business? Like certain red flags, and men too, not just the women. Now I don't want to pick the women. No, not at all. Certain red flags that we overlook. Yes, and we settle. We do. We overlook and we think we or we think we could change them. That's a big one. You know what I mean? Or we think we can, you know what I'm saying, fix them or this, that, and the third. Definitely. And I be just telling my female friends, look, man, if you saw these red flags in the beginning, what made you think those red flags is gonna change? What made you think things are gonna go anywhere? So certain things I want my women to be mindful of when it comes to certain shit. It ain't just about because you get that anywhere. Same way a man say, and man, that down there is not of value. I tell women this all the time. Well, what you bring to the table? Well, I'm opening my legs. Girl, you know how many women gonna open their legs? Many gonna do it. that is not the prize. Yeah, and we are not in lack of that. And if a woman thinks that we are in lack of that, that's very ignorant on your part. We are in lack of
the thought process, the mindset when it comes to wanting to build and grow with a person. That's what we're in lack of. You're interested because as men, we talk about the characteristics of women.
Right.
And what women do is women talk about what we're not doing. You know what I mean? I really noticed that in the talk.
Absolutely.
And I really believe if they would just tweak the talk a little bit, you know, maybe not the explanation or understanding, because I feel that you can tweak those areas, but we can all come to a level of understanding.
Right.
If you tweak the talk, that will exhibit your outward motion.
Yeah. And ultimately change the narrative.
Yes, that will absolutely change the narrative.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah. So taking those tools now, shifting back to what we were talking about originally, taking the tools that I've learned now, I know how to cope with death. I know how to cope with emotions when it comes to that. I know how to cope with maintain, God forbid something happened when I'm in my new relationship for her or for me. I know how to deal better, way better. I know how to handle grief better. But I could say that, but you don't know, depending on who leave or how it's going, it plays a role too. But I can honestly say I can use the tools that I've learned from losing my mom to try my hardest to be better as a friend, as a boyfriend, as a husband when I get married, as a boss at my job, just to try to be all around better, because experience is the best teacher.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Not lying about
That's the best lesson, is experience. Is going through something. So I always try to do things differently, when going through things. So yeah, that was definitely a time though, man. Ooh, Lord. Then not to mention, the pandemic, losing people, losing to other people during the pandemic, losing things, jobs, man, it was just a lot. So it's crazy that I have to, when my kids get older, or if I decide to have another child, I have to, and they ask me about, hey, in 2020, what was the pandemic about? Tell me about the pandemic. As me sitting there talking to somebody, a World War II vet. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yes. They telling their story. We have a story in history to tell our kids, or our kids tell their grandkids about what happened in 2020. Oh, well, you lost your grandmother in 2020 because of blah, 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 blah. So it's just like us telling my kids about 9/11. You know what I mean? I had just joined the Navy in 9/11. I just got out of high school. I just joined the Navy in 9/11. So I can sit back. My youngest daughter asked me about it. My middle child asked me about it when they was doing something during September. They were doing something on 9/11. She asked me about it, and I was like, man, is this how the World War II vets feel when they have to talk about? Because it was deep for me, and I was like, man, looking back at it, it was crazy. So I was explaining it to her, you know what I mean, telling her how it was, because she wasn't born then. She wasn't born until 2014. So she was asking me about it, and I'm looking back like, man, that's so long ago. That was 22, 23 years ago. Man, that was a long time ago. That's crazy. So it's like history, like, it's going to happen again. So my kids going to have to explain to their kids about the pandemic.
There it is.
So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. This world is crazy. So I'll take the tools that I've learned and apply them to everyday life when it comes to who I am, and certain things I won't budge on, certain things I won't lack on. But losing my mom and going through that taught me so much when it came to perseverance, number one. Being able to keep in my mind that you got to maintain, you got to take care of these kids, you got to keep this crib, you got to have a roof over your head, you got to have a car to drive. All those things I may have lacked, because I always knew I had that safety net.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So now I had that safety. So now I had that safety net. The grind is even harder. You know what I mean? So I took a lot from that. And my mom, I think now she's looking down on me and smiling. You know what I'm saying? Because of where I'm at now in life.
You know, man, I want to really commend Doug, because a lot of people don't deal with grief and really flip it into a positive narrative. And I get it, bro. I understand. It's hard.
Yeah.
My mom and my brother still grief my grandmother.
Right.
That was my mom's mother. I have a twin brother, so that was our grandmother. We were all extremely close to her.
Okay.
So, but what I take the joy is in those memories of what she instilled in me.
Right.
You know,
that's
what I mean?
me.
That's how you take that. That's that silver lining we talk about. You have to find even in death, that positive. And brother, I just commend you
Appreciate
for that
it.
because a lot of brothers, a lot of people just cannot harness that energy to do it.
Yeah.
And to pull yourself out from that pit.
Yeah.
Because nobody else pulled you out of that but you.
Right. And I'm not gonna take full credit. I still had good people around me, my best friends. See, I had the same, I've had the same 5 best friends since 7th grade.
You got some ride or die.
Yeah, we 20-some years in it. I tell you all the time, the same niggas that's gonna carry me to my casket is gonna stand next to me in my wedding.
I feel you.
The same cats.
Yes,
so we've been through things, and they don't have a problem with telling me, "Hey, man, get off your ass and get on your feet."
Okay.
You know, it's the same way, vice versa. We don't go through. We don't. And we're not gonna yes man each other. Yeah, no, hell no. No. Well, you're not my friend if you're doing that. If you can't, and that'd be the thing with a lot of these celebrities, they be having niggas around them that just be suckling on the power teat, that just be trying to eat. Oh yeah, bro. No, I ain't never been that type of friend. I don't care how much money you got, I don't care where you at in life. You wrong. That was wrong. You should have did that. Now you're a grown man, you can do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, I'm here to tell you bogus for that. And we all got that relationship. Even me and Dominique. That's been my sister for 15 years. Definitely. We have that rapport. No, Dougie, you was wrong. Or no, Dominique, I don't like where you handled that. This, that, and you can listen to it or not. I'ma still say it. I'm gonna tell you how. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So, yeah, man, it has taught me a lot. I've grown more in the last 4 years that I feel like I've grown in my whole life. And that's real.
That's awesome. Bro.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, hey man, we just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
because I want to let that man have the last word, man. And I think that's what everybody needs to hear. Like I said, man, y'all take a page out of this brother's book here and learn how to deal with that positivity. Yeah. Just overall, man, in depth and just overall, because brother, you have a great outlook, dog.
Appreciate it, man.
And I thank you for just blessing the radio show and the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for having me, man. Absolutely.
No problem. So let people know once again where they can find you at and the things you got going on too, brother. We'll end off there.
Okay. Once again, it's your boy Doug O'Lake, your auntie's favorite R&B singer, the R&B crooner. You can find me on all social media platforms as Doug O'Lake, DOUGOLAKE. Please make sure you vote for me for the 312 Awards for the Best Male Artist of the Year. And also, I got an album that's doing great on all streaming platforms called Love Lessons. Go download it. My #1 single, I'm Just Saying, written by Dominique Danielle. D-Reb's in the building. Yeah, man, that's it for me, man. That's where you can find me. Like I said, once again, thanks for having me, man. No Absolutely, problem, man.
And it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, for the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. And remember, y'all, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.